There lived a boy in a village. He was an orphan. His parents had died when he was just an infant. Everyone called him Kenny. He was in fact the son of the village. Because everyone had played some role in bringing up Kenny. Any house would invite Kenny for meals. All the people had sympathy for Kenny. But all this sympathy and love was sporting Kenny. He had become lazy. He showed no interest in doing any work. Kenny was getting everything free without any sweat. He roamed through the fields all day long, or he would sit and play his flute. He did play the flute beautifully. The sweet tunes he played charmed people. Some people even gave him money for his music. The time passed and he grew into a youngman. Lazy youngman. Jackie and Jessie were Kenny's favorite uncle and aunt. Kenny lived in their house. So, they were like foster parents. They had their own son too, who had grown up alongside Kenny. He now worked. One day, Kenny slept late as always. Jessie tried to wake him up many times. But Kenny just turned over and slept on. It annoyed Jessie. She brought a pail of cold water and poured over sleeping Kenny. He got up with a scream. Jessie was already fed up with Kenny. She rebuked Kenny. Is sleeping all you can do? You are living on Jackie's money. Have you ever thought of moving your own muscles to earn some money? Kenny had heard it umpteen times from Jessie. But he never took Aunt Jessie seriously. He just played dumb. But that morning her taunt went into his heart. He made up his mind to go away and come back only when he had made some money to prove his worth to Jackie and Jessie. After breakfast, he took leave of his uncle and aunt and went away as usual. At night, when Kenny didn't show up till late hours, Jackie and Jessie got worried. They talked about Kenny, who had become a member of the family. Jackie said, "Jessie, this morning you were a bit hard on poor Kenny. Maybe he is cross with you." Jessie was sorry. But it was too late to do anything about it except wait for him. The days and weeks went by. There was no sign of Kenny. Meanwhile, Kenny had walked away and away, living on berries till he reached a big town. He looked around for work. No one was ready to employ a stranger. And he was no skilled worker. He had never learned to do any work. At last, a tired Kenny sat down under a tree. He played on his flute. By chance, a musician was passing by on his horse. He heard Kenny's charming flute music and admired it. He took Kenny with him and gave him a fabulous treat. The musician used to play his guitar in the court of the king. The next day, he took Kenny to the court and praised his music to the king. The king spoke, "It may be possible that Kenny is a talented flute player. We shall like to test his music." The next day, the king called all the music experts of his kingdom to his court. All the musicians reached the court with their instruments. Kenny was also invited. He too arrived with his flute. All the big musicians played their respective instruments to please the king. They learned that Youngman Kenny too was there to present his music. They whispered and laughed at Kenny. When Kenny's turn came, he took out his flute and started playing a tune on his flute. He was sitting on the floor. The tune was so melodious that all the people in the court listened to it spellbound. The court was filled with the sounds of hand clapping when Kenny finished. The king spoke, "Kenny, we are very pleased with your musical talent. The main thing is that in spite of others laughing at you, your confidence in your music remained intact. Talent and self-confidence is the key to real success. And you have no ego. That's good. We employ you as the royal flute player." Kenny was very pleased. He was given a room in the palace complex. At the end of the month, when he got his first salary, he took leave and went to Jackie and Jessie. He told them all that had happened. Uncle Jackie and Aunt Jessie were very pleased. They returned Kenny's salary to him and said, "Son, live happily, wherever you go. No art is small. Your flute has made your future." Aunt Jessie advised, "God has blessed you. Kenny, do hard work and go up in life. We wish you the best of luck. Don't ever again become lazy." Kenny embraced Jessie. "Auntie, now I know I promise you that I will never again sleep late." Kenny went back to his job and lived a happy life.